Hi everyone, we're going to jump into the reaction in a moment. I just wanted to mention that while reacting to Jeff Buckley, I did not have it in the front of my mind that he was gone. I did know that, but I admit that Jeff Buckley was not in the front of my mind most of the last time. So I just didn't think about it, and I apologize in advance if my giddiness and like high spirits don't sit with all of you, and I can understand it. It feels weird to me, but I just wanted to say rest in peace, Jeff, and we miss you. Now let's go to the reaction. Hi, I'm Lenore. I'm a singer and a voice teacher. Today I'm reacting to Jeff Buckley singing Dream Brother live in Chicago. Now, you YouTube commenter that keeps on saying Jeff Buckley, Dream Brother live in Chicago. I think there's just one user who kept on saying that for at least 50 times since I started my reaction videos. This one's for you. And if I can find you, I will also put your name out there. Thank you for the recommendation. I don't know the song. I do know Jeff Buckley a little bit. I'll be honest, all I know from Jeff Buckley is his version of Hallelujah. So, not much. Let's see what we got. Live in Chicago. Okay, I have to stop at some point. That was just a mood set. Very well done. I'm in the mood, so I really want to hear more. I don't have a lot to say except how jealous I am of that long neck. Oh my God. Did you see that? Look at that. This is just, he looks a little bit like a human giraffe. And the shoulders are so low and relaxed, and I want that. That's so good for the singing. Yeah, so he started really soft and a bit sort of like mysteriously shaking, a little bit shaky vibrato. All of that is very typical to the singing that I hear from him. So yeah, it gets me into it. Let's keep going. Okay. Wow. Okay. What? Okay, this is weird. Weird and a bit creepy, but it's not like creepy in the way that you think. It's just spooky. That's the word that I'm looking for. It's spooky. Okay. Okay, this is amazing to me. it's a bit all over the place. Like it's, I don't know what to say about that. Vocally, there's almost nothing here. It's very whispery, very small, quite shaky. And then you go through all the entire range there. Actually, when he flipped over to the high note, it was in falsetto. That was the richest kind of sound that we heard so far. And that was the most stable one as well. The other ones were quite shaky. And it all seems like it's part of the plan. So I'm not saying like this is an incompetence of any sort. But it's just so strange. Like, who sings like that? Jeff Buckley, I guess, sings like that, and he owns it. Like, this is how I sing. Yeah, I don't like that. That's how I do it. Okay. Yeah, I'm very unsettled, but I'm liking it at the same time. They like it. See that neck? I don't know the song, as I said, but I'm just guessing. This has something to do with like pain, even grief. I would guess, like, if you had to make me guess, I would guess that it's about someone who's gone. That's the pain that I got from that intro.
A child sleeping near his twin. The pictures go wild in a rush of wind. That dark angel he's shuffling in, watching over them with his black feather wings unfurled.
Ooh. That was powerful. Okay, there's some kind of narrowing that I'm hearing in the space, in the instrument, like in the pharynx. That's where I hear it. Maybe even a little bit in the throat, like yeah, and it's a little bit of a control thing. Like he's trying to control his voice with a bit of tension. Again, I think that's on purpose. I think. But what the results that brings is very acute emotional intensity, and he doesn't give that a lot of effort. So there is not a lot of air pressure on it. There's not a lot of muscle pressure on it. Just a little bit, and it's like having this like twist of a knife.
The love you lost with her skin so fair is free with the wind in her butterscotch hair. Her green eyes bloom goodbyes with her head in her hands, and your kiss on the lips of another.
Okay, wow. Yeah, a lot of playing around there. I like it. So now that he went on, there was a little bit less tension right here, and the control came from the twang, or like we talked about that before, what I call the squeaky voice. A little bit of that sparkly brightness in the voice. So he does more of that and less of the narrowing, and there's a lot more relaxation. You can hear that. You see that his jaw. I can see that his jaw drops more. It's just, so it's coming along, and he's a lot more relaxed now. And then he also adds sometimes this this breathiness on top. That's just strictly technically what he's doing.
Brother, with your tears scattered round the world. Don't be like the one who made me so old. Don't be like the one who left behind his name. 'Cause
Wow.
they're waiting for you, like I waited for mine, and nobody ever came.
Okay. Phew, all right. So again, I'm hearing more twang, less pressure. Sometimes a little bit, but not a big deal. And there's a lot more depth now. Something that I heard from the beginning, but I didn't mention it until now, is the vibrato. He has this, like I did say that it was shaky. Now it's less shaky, but it's almost like we call it in classical singing or in classical music tremolo. It's like a little bit sheepish. And I think it's because that he actually moves his larynx to make the vibrato, like artificially. It's very small and gentle. I don't hear a lot, of heaviness or I don't know. I don't think it will cause vocal fatigue. I don't think so. Maybe if you do that like a lot and then you add pressure on top of that, but I don't think he does that. It sounds like he has quite a bit of control for something that sounds like not a huge amount of voice. It's not like he's opening his mouth and his voice is just pouring out. But what he's doing with it is very versatile and very like a really big spectrum. You see, like this is a totally different sound than what he did in the beginning. It's like deep and full and powerful, and before it was like takes quite some courage to go from one end to the other. Like that. You heard, maybe I heard it, one sound that was a little bit more pushed, just one, and it was in service of the meaning. I love it. So the way he releases into the falsetto, that's exactly what he's doing. He's just releasing and go like, and it sounds awesome. His falsetto is really good. Like every time he did falsetto in this song, it was just poof. And that's the way it should be. I paused on the badass face. That's nice. Yeah. You know the badass face? If you don't know by now, I'll tell you. The badass face is what I call this face that all of the good singers do when the cheeks go up and the jaw goes down. All the good singers do that. There you go. I wouldn't even consider him like one of the best vocalists, but he is definitely really good at what he does. He takes what he does, what he can do, and he makes the very, very best out of that, and he owns every bit of it. And that's exactly what a professional singer does. So yeah, and he also has his thing going on. Like he has what makes him special, and he owns up to that too. Really good. I forgot what I wanted to say about that part already. But just the fact that he just goes for it, and then he's really like, his whole body is involved in it, but in a relaxed way. And the more powerful he is, the more you hear the twang, the squeaky voice, the more you see the badass face, like all those things help him get more of the power in his voice.
Just like him. You're just like him.
That's really good. This is something I really admire. There is an Israeli singer, songwriter that does something like that as well, that I really like. His name is Eviatar Banai. For all the Israelis out there, you will know what I'm talking about. He has these moments when he sings out of tune, and that's a part of his thing. Like in general, you have the melody, and then sometimes it's just, and he sort of like puts the screw into that and twists it. It's almost like he wants it to hurt, and he uses that as a tool. And that's what I'm hearing here. I don't understand how you can be so off and still make sense out of it. Like this is on purpose. It's sort of like wandering sometimes between one pitch and another. And it's very unsettling. I'm just gonna say that, frankly. Okay. Yeah. By the way, that's how it's done. That was a little bit of the opera phase too, like this. I talked about that in the Nadine Sierra reaction. If you want to check it out, she's doing this face all the time because she sings opera, and most good opera singers do that. And he's singing a really extreme note. It is falsetto, but it's still relatively high for the falsetto, and he wants it to be long, and he wants it to be powerful. And so he gets the most out of the space that he can possibly muster, like this. And it works very well. But you heard what I was talking about just the time before. When he went to the high note, he was just under it. He didn't really go all the way to the pitch. It was sort of like balancing and twisting, like it was crazy. Like if an amateur did that, everybody would run away. But he can pull this off because the way he does it in a professional way. He does it in a decisive way. That's like the bottom line. That's the difference between an amateur and a professional. Because an amateur can sing out of, a professional can sing out of tune as well. But you look at that and you can be really touched by it, and you can be really impressed by it somehow. Yeah. Yeah. I have to point something out. This is a good picture good frame to pause on. I want you to look at the guitarist, the other guitarist with the white shirt, and then look at Jeff, and then Just compare their postures. Well, the other ones don't have to sing, granted, right? But regardless, if you do this all the time, maybe he's not doing that all the time, by the way. Maybe it's just a releasing kind of thing, and then it's fine. But I saw that before as well, and also with the other guitarists. There are sometimes like their whole head goes way down, or their whole upper body sort of like hunches, and in the long run that is not going to be very nice for the body in general, and definitely not for the voice. And look at Jeff. He's like, throughout the entire song almost, he has the chin pointing down, but the entire head is directed up. That's like classic Alexander technique. I don't know if you ever did Alexander technique, but if you want a posture like that, do Alexander technique. This is fantastic. Yeah? Back of the head, whoop, up. Chin points down, and still all of this is long. And what I sometimes say to people who play guitar and sing at the same time is that you want to aim for the chin to point to where the guitar frame is. And for most people, it goes further forward. So just pay attention to that. And it means that you have to look only, like you have to look down with your eyes, which is what he's doing. Only with the eyes. And if the eyes drag the head just a tiny bit, that's fine. But in general, you want your head up and then chin down. Exemplary, fantastic stuff.
The one who made me so old. Don't be like the one who left behind his name. 'Cause they're waiting for you like I'm waiting for mine, and nobody ever came. Don't be like the one who made me so old. Don't be like the one who left me.
Now, so I'm just gonna point out how he went through his entire range in the song. And it sounds almost like he doesn't have to change anything. So that's a good thing, in my opinion. It makes it also smooth and effortless. It's like the melody goes like all over the place, and he just stands there and does his thing, which is consistent. And he doesn't need to, add any kind of effort to the melody changes, if that makes sense. I mean, just pay attention next time you're singing a melody that is so wide in range, and see if you are repeating the same technique or the same mechanism, or are you going and making all sorts of adjustments to make the melody happen. He doesn't. That? Oh, what was that? Can someone explain this to me? So I'll try to pull this apart. He started with that twangy sound. He was already relatively on top of the range. And with the badass face, he put a tiny bit of pressure on it, again, not much, but then when he went to the was that a growl or a rasp? Yeah, I think it was a growl, or not. It was sort of some kind of an effect. I'm not even sure what it was. I think it was a growl. It wasn't a rasp, but when he did that, he had more space inside. So he did not make that with extra muscles. He was actually more free, and that's how he did it. And it was a long note. So impressive. And it was just, and he could move on from, like he moved immediately from the twangy, sort of like a straight tone to the growly tone, and then to falsetto. Almost like it was a walk in the park.
I feel afraid and I call your name. I love your voice and your dancing insane.
You hear what I'm talking about? Like, there's not a lot of freedom there. But he plays around with it.
Your words and I know your pain. With your head in your hands and her kiss on the lips of another. Your eyes to the ground and the world spinning round forever. Asleep in the sand with the ocean washing over. Asleep in the sand with the ocean washing over.
You know, it's almost like he doesn't really choose from the angle of the voice what he's gonna do. It's almost like he's feeling his song, and that's what he wants it to sound like, and then it happens. That's my guess. I could be wrong. Maybe he worked on it like with a voice teacher for a long time. I doubt it though. He looks like someone that just can already do a bunch of stuff and does them and just chooses what to do with them. So I'm very impressed and touched and moved, and I don't think I can hear that kind of singing for a long time, because as I said, it's very, very unsettling. It's very, like, emotionally, it's very shaky. There's a shaky ground there, and personally, I need to hear a voice and go, yes, like, we got this. And he's more like, I'm freaking out. So I'm freaking out a bit. Okay, yeah. I have this talent of pausing like a second before the song is already over. They could have gone a few seconds more and then the song would be over. Never mind. I think I said everything I could say about it. It was a roller coaster for me. Yeah. What did you think about it? It's definitely not mainstream kind of music. It's not mainstream kind of singing. So I imagine it will be a bit controversial, maybe. We'll see what you guys think about it. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching and enjoy singing. Bye.